Every company today has to realize they are a media company. There are some video that generate $1 million of sales per week. Take your video, just start creating content and just iterate, just post content and you'll see.
All right, folks, here, listen up. Imagine a world where every video comes with a buy button. It begs the question, could a single video change the landscape of your e-commerce business? Well, let's dive deep into this topic today and go into this digital revolution with Nicolas. And let's go where we talk about every live stream, every product, every potential video becomes a bustling marketplace of opportunity and maybe a potential gold mine for your business. So in the realm of shoppable videos and live streams, Nicolas is going to talk about how we turn pixels into purchases and profits. So hold on to your credit cards. We're going to dive into this where just browsing becomes just bought it in the area of shoppable content, which is here today in 2024. Are you going to lead or follow? That's the question for today. Nicolas, thanks for joining the call.
Hi, how are you, Neil? So excited to be here.
Amazing. Yeah, we've been having some fun off air. Who knows where this will take us to?
I'm a little worried, but let's see.
A little worried. Well, don't get too worried. We won't go too far down any rabbit holes. So, okay. Who's leading and who's following in the space of shoppable online video and content? This is the year of the creator, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you think a bit that from a platform perspective, I think the leader, like by any mean, right? From a place perspective is TikTok. I think right now is really TikTok, right? So they are heavily into video and the play has always been, we are an e-com player. As a matter of fact, when they were talk about getting them out of the country and, being banned and all that, they were saying, hey, we don't obey by the social media rules or anything. We are an e-commerce company. That's what we do, right? And so TikTok has been the player. Of course, Amazon has been really big on that. I mean, They were the guy that bring that up in the US market, let's be honest, right? But it's been discreet in some way, right? I think a lot of people that knows about it, have seen it, engaged with it, but it's not been like this.
It's not as a video heavy, traffic heavy is what TikTok is doing. But it's also getting them into some trouble, as you and I both know. Right now, they're a bill to potentially shut them down. And as of just this morning, I think Rumble CEO made an offer to buy them in order to make them an American company.
I haven't seen that.
So it's a very significant thing, moving very fast in that. What do you think about that? What does that bring up for you in terms of understanding where people are going with video and then this potential major change?
Yeah, I think for TikTok, if you look at what they're doing across the world, they're in trouble in different places, right? They're this big machine that every place they come, they grow so fast, they grow so viral that every government is like afraid. Like in Indonesia, they were banned because they were taking way too many market share too quickly, too fast, and too many brands were just floating on there, and the government had to ban them, saying we are calling you e-com solution. And so you will see that. I think this is we're becoming as people, our attention span is getting shorter and shorter. We are consuming video like crazy, right? 80% of the whole internet is 80%. So we just love video. And the fact that when you have a buy button on video, you're just making it way too easy to get my credit card and to actually
and that's
make me
exactly where that shoppable interface of this conversation kind of connects.
Absolutely.
And that's where they've made that really smart connectivity to that to make it easy for you to buy. And so they're up to like 4.8 billion in revenue already projected for this year based on how fast TikTok Shops has been moving through shoppable videos, right? It's going like insane.
Absolutely. But I think their numbers is they want to be at 18 by the end of the year.
And I think they're projected on this path. Yeah, just to watch the shops and some of our clients' shops that are just blowing up. And it just takes one video to pop off. And then they create a whole series of videos behind that. And then this gets millions of views. She's actually got a situation where at this point, she is putting in the product as fast as she can get it in. And by the next day, when it goes live at 9:00, it's sold out by noon.
Yeah.
And the most fascinating part of that single video that is now being reproduced is that it's creating a trend of videos for her particular product that other creators are now writing on top of it. And it's just a fascinating way that they've connected this shoppable video ad stuff. What are you seeing from your perspective?
So first of all, I totally agree with what you're saying. What I've seen on so what TikTok is great about is like it's super transparent. You will not believe it, like if you don't know it, but like you can see all the numbers. So there's like a bunch of API you can access to. There are software that built on that where you can see. And I personally receive a newsletter like once a week, and there are some video that generate $1 million of sales per week.
Incredible.
Just one video. It's crazy, right? Like one video, $1 million sales in video apps. Obviously, if you're bigger, you say, oh, one video, I can do that quite easily.
Sure.
But I will say it's pretty substantial when you think about it.
It's extremely substantial. Here's what's the most interesting part about that is I know in the minds of some people, they're like, wait, all I have to do is create one video. How many videos do you estimate it took for that one actually to pop off? 100, thousands?
I mean, this company that, I will not mention on air, but like this company is always on the top 5 and 10, and they just have their video grinding machine
Just
so well
nailed
rolled out. And I think here's the deal, right? I think with TikTok at least, and I think it's true to everything. When you know your audience and you know how to construct viral video, you are a killer in the space. I mean, like, it takes time. It takes time, right? Obviously, we know Mr. Beast, but like, no, Mr. Beast, there's no way you're going to see a crap video from him. Like every
Not less
video,
than 100 million views.
yeah. So all I'm
Easy.
saying is he knows the rule. He knows his audience. He knows how to
He
make
knows his
it.
audience.
And boom.
Smart.
And so when you're a brand and you can do that, you can kill it. Now we're talking about TikTok. Obviously, I'm thinking personally is that, okay, where we come in on my side is like, how do we make it where it's your own experience that you can deliver so you can own the relationship, the data, you can build off platform, and that's where we come in. But in platform and who is winning today is like in platform.
Well, if you take a TikTok video that goes well and you dial that into your audience, then take that video and move it into the Amazon influencer side, stick it over on Facebook Reels, put it on Instagram Reels, put it on YouTube Shorts. Like, let that video go. It's just a one-to-many relationships. And what I've discovered is if it goes well on TikTok, it will go very well on the rest. And by the way, on Facebook ads and meta ads, I guess we call them now, and on AdWords, I'm discovering any video that does really well on TikTok is a great ad video for one of those platforms. So a one to multiple approach. But here's the thing, I make hundreds, if not thousands of videos. And to get those dialed audiences and figure out how to get, certain things working. What do you
Yeah, but I think the reality is once upon a time we were creating a video and that video had a 5-6 year life cycle, right? It was a product video, we had it, but that no longer exists. A video today, if you have a 24 hour, 48 hours lifespan on it, it's great. It's a great video. It's running well for you. Today, we're in a place where you have to churn content on a big place. If you want to be in the content business, right? I mean, I will say that in my point of view, every company today has to realize they are a media company, and
100%.
the one that crush it are the one that's going to make,
100%. And that goes to the Amazon side. If we jump there for a second, because they are becoming a media distribution company. I've put this on my blog, guys. Go check it out at voltage.substack.com, voltagedm.substack.com. I posted this on here, and you'll be able to. Yours will be on there too. So, folks, whenever you're hearing this, you'll be able to go read the podcast transcript and watch this video. Long story short, they're becoming a media company by 2026. That means that our role has shifted into being a media advertiser and then a product development and brander. Are you also experiencing that? Because I know our videos on Shoppable that we pull out of TikTok, etc., on Amazon's side, when you do sponsored brand ads and videos, are doing really well. So once you get that content audience, we're seeing a lot of transition across the platforms. What's your experience?
I agree with that. And especially with Amazon, like you and I, we were talking about that recently, right? So you made me go back and watch just Amazon TV. And now you see content there where like, I guess you can actually start and publicizing your content there too. And they have a QR code, you have a call to action, and you go back to Amazon.
Right on top. Folks. This is the Cosmo update that he's referring to that's coming to Amazon to turn keywords away and then latent machine language and large language models into producing videos on demand through Amazon's video channels now. So if you're watching Prime, which is what he was describing, if you're watching a specific show, if you're in Freevee, if you're on Twitch, if you're on one of their media channels and they're buying a whole lot right now, then they're going to start showing you ads on the other platforms that match specifically to that particular show you were watching a cooking show, but you're going to see.
Yeah. And what's amazing is I remember when I tune into Freevee is not an option. It's like everyone has paid ad now, and you can, they send you a pop-up saying, hey, do you want to opt out?
They do on the new on Prime now. Yes, they do.
Yeah. But it's only one time, and it's going to cost you $2.99, and I say no, and now it never prompted me back again. So now I'm watching every ad
That's true.
It's been
I
like,
have the same thing. Absolutely. I did the same thing. I don't know why I was like, well, I'm not paying $3 for this.
yeah, exactly.
It
And
was
now I'm
already
watching
free. I
ad.
like, my little resistance. I'm like, no.
Exactly. And,
God.
but like now I'm watching ad, and then, which something I never do before is like, there's the QR code. I'm like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. But it feels to me that in some way, those places are coming back to, like where you were doing ad for TV, right? Where there's like the call number or anything. Like it feels very much, those ads are very much like that right now. But you have the QR code to call to action, which is, it's a different type of ad, I will say, on TV than it is on.
It is. And let's talk about the formats of ads, because this is important as we talk about the video and the virality or virility. I joke at virality. It just depends on what kind of video you're watching. It's the affect of what you create, the actual framework. So give us some insights into what kind of frameworks people should be thinking about. You mentioned the short attention span.
Yeah.
We do a 3x4 method, which is 3 seconds by four spots.
Mm-hmm.
So get that hook, that problem, that reaction, that solution. That's kind of our framework for a video. What is your framework? What would you?
Yeah, so it's really, in my point of view, there's really two frameworks that you need to think about. There's the live stream framework, which is like where we personally love to play with. And so in this case, it's all about like creating a hook, and the hook is the environment, how you play with the sound, and how do you welcome people where they come in. And then the next thing is like having a 3-minute segment on your product, describing the benefit, and then just repeat and watch and repeat and. So that's for the live stream element. So super short, but always like with this watch and repeat. Yeah. And then you have the video, and on the video it's more like, what I personally love is taking the UGC. So using that as a kind of almost like a referral thing, right? So you take the UGC out there, you take it, you bring it on your website, and now you let the user just spend time watching and binging your UGC. And on that, you make a buy button, right? So obviously, this is not for ad, right? This is for, you want to entertain the users to grab his attention, leave it on the video. And the UGC, some of them are going to be killer seller. And so you just want to grab those, putting there. Amazon doing that very well, right? If you think about the Amazon app, the second button on the bottom is what? UGC, that you can actually shop. And that is pretty cool. And doing that on your own website, I think is a great way. Now, if you think about more like, if you want effectiveness on your content, you definitely have to go. I personally like the hook to be 5 seconds, not so much free, because I think free, it's very hard to be really good at creating a hook of 3 seconds. But
3 to 6 seconds. Yeah. That's our short attention span. 6 seconds, if I heard correctly. 7 seconds is an 8. We're like 6 seconds now. So do with that whatever you will.
And the typical, the best hook always have some sort of the same formula. Is like, either it has to be really, really funny, or you actually take the end of this, like, what's the story you're telling? You take that and you present that first. Yep. And then you dive on the story and why people should. So you give them the why they should watch, and then you let them watch, and then you have the call to action. So
I find that just putting it through my mind 3 to 5 times, and then just hitting record and going with the next one that comes once I give it 3 to 5 tries, and then I hit record and do it, the hook will be in it. Like you can just pull it out of the content you already said, like listen again and be like, oh, there's my hook. It's like in your content, pull it out, put it to the front of the video, whatever time frame that is, that's the engagement. And that has worked extremely well. I watched a kid inside of one of these groups the other day who posted a video of a content that got him 8 million views. And everybody's like, oh, they all want to know what's the secret trick he did or whatever. And it was really the hook, because the rest of the video was just him in his backyard with his dog talking about the product. It wasn't very fancy at all. And the hook was basically for a product that had to do with solar power. And the front half of it was, what happens if the power grid goes out and China invades us? There's a great question.
There you go.
Yeah, there was like 10,000 comments on the video, right? There was 10,000. It was everything from, yeah, he's right, to, yeah, this is why we prepare. And yeah, I hate China. Oh, yeah, I love China. No, this is a conspiracy theory. I mean, it just went like, blah, 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 like just engagement and content. And that video popped off. But I heard he made about 170,000 on that one video.
Yeah, but you say, you're saying something that is incredible, insightful, and I really want people to pay attention to just what you say. Just think of this as in the conversation of video, right? You still, if you go to your agency for the most part, and you say, I want to create a video, and they're gonna say, oh, we're gonna create a hook, because they're gonna charge you a lot of money to create. They're gonna ask for 6 months work. And they're going to do scene, and they're going to create you a video that's going to be brilliant, because it's going to be tested and everything is going to work. But how much you spend on that, and how many video you got, right? What you're saying, say, I'm going to create a really good hook. I'm going to do it in 5. I'm going to do it my 5 times. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to ask question and go on. Well, if that video doesn't work, you do it again tomorrow.
Do it again tomorrow. Ask a question and figure out the difference. Change the hook up a little bit. What happens if you don't
Exactly.
Russia invades us? And what happens if Russia invades Taiwan? I mean, you can take that hook and just think about 5 times, 10 times. You can split it.
Yeah.
Figure out which one works. Like, I think people just don't want to put in the work, man.
And did you spend $1 million to pay for that video?
I spent like 10 minutes of my life, which is a lot of time and some relative.
And that may be that video that you would have spent $1 million to create, or the $500,000 to create,
Absolutely.
or whatever the money. How many views are going to get, right? If you compare a view per dollar spent. Now, if you make those videos, and each of those videos don't do 8 million views, but they only do 1 million, right?
Oh
but
boy.
You create
only 1 million.
200 of them. Have you not made your money worth?
That's the way we think about products. It's very good that you said that, and I appreciate that, because so many people think that's a one-hit wonder in a repetitive process. And what they don't understand it is fail. One good enough win. It says, okay, I'll go this direction. And then you fail. And by failure, I mean, it just doesn't hit whatever mark or metric or sales or video views you wanted to get. And so you just keep going. The tenacity and perseverance is the whole name of the game here anymore. And I think people really forget that. I tell this before, and I'll say it again, and I'm sure you have a story too. I'd love to hear it. It was, my first campaign in the affiliate marketing world for online marketing took me like 301 campaigns before it popped off. 301 campaigns. Like, I'm dense. I just could not figure it out. I couldn't figure out how to talk to the audience. And we didn't have AI tools today to create hooks or give you ideas. But folks, you have that now. I didn't even have that, right?
Yeah. The other thing I want to mention on that fast iteration, just putting it out there, and first of all, remember, the attention span of your video is going to be small. Like tomorrow, that video is dead. It no longer exists. No one cares about it, right? So if it's bad just for that day, period. Who cares, right?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. If it's bad, it's just bad for one day.
So, but the other thing that you want to think about. So I was meeting with the CTO of Home Depot recently, CMO of Home Depot, Molly, and she was saying that they commissioned a study from Accenture. I was telling, so they produce, I think it's like something like over 20,000 pieces of content a year.
Wow.
And they say that just to be at to be playing field with the market, in 2023, they had to increase by 50% their production content just to be playing field. So I want you to think about this. What does it mean? It means that content today and content tomorrow, it's going to be, we're saying, today the video is 1 day. Tomorrow it's going to be a couple seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not a couple seconds, but you have to produce. And you're becoming a real media company. What you need to invest today is, how do I crack content at a high scale, low cost, and content that people wants to engage with, and just
don't set any limiting beliefs. I mean, what did we just watch during the Super Bowl when what are we calling him now? Kanye, Yeezy, GZ. What do we call this
W?
guy? I don't know. The artist formerly known as. I mean, he gets on and makes like what, 19 million, if I'm not mistaken, on one video shot from an iPhone, and literally told people he didn't have enough money to produce.
And he do it on the car, right? And the video
car
is
really
terrible.
low lighting. So what is your excuse, people? Literally, what's your excuse? If you're in the e-com world, if Amazon, DTC, direct to marketing, consumer, if you're on the consulting and lead generation side, if you're building a brand or what is not limited in the video scope of this conversation? Is there any limitations?
I don't know of any limitations. And, there's a lot of people out there, when you talk to them, I say, I absolutely want to do video. But it's like, so what is preventing you to do it? I don't know how to do it. It's like, just take the phone and get CapCut if you just want to do it.
CapCut's free.
The easiest way is free, and then go for it. It's
what did you give a framework for somebody listening right now from your brain? I kind of gave one of mine. What should somebody be listening to that like they could literally take from this call today from you and go to work on this topic for their video?
Yeah, I think for me, the way I think about what I will say, like from my perspective, is like, take your video, just start creating content and just iterate, just post content and you'll see. But I think for me, in my point of view, what my pitch is about is like, create it on the channel that you control, because at the end of the day, if you today have a direct to consumer and you don't want to be completely dependent on Amazon and done tomorrow on TikTok, because those are and probably Walmart, those are the free marketplace where everything's going to happen. You need to figure out a way to drive your customer to your place and on your website. And the way to do that is to be more than just a place where you sell. It's a place where people are engaged and have content. Yep. The challenge is, with chatbot and all those things that's happening, the ChatGPT and all that, people are going to search less and less on Google and all that, and they're going to go to chatbots. So I think the Gartner was saying that organic traffic is going to be dying by 2028. I mean, like 50%. So how do you make your site as a direct to consumer, if that is your goal, right, relevant? If it's not your goal and you want to be on Amazon only, on TikTok only, on Facebook only, then go for it, right? That's if you want to build on renting land, you know what you're doing, that's great. I believe in a space where you have to be on both because you want to have control. And if you do that, then I will really encourage you to think about, how do I iterate quickly on content, take my UGC, make my place a place where people can engage. And the second thing I will say is that in my point of view today, we are very much focused. And if you compare like US versus China, which is very much advanced in video commerce, like Shoppable, Livestream and everything. Today, we're in a place where we say, oh, this is my best product. You should buy this, you should buy this, you should buy this, right? I believe that video should be more about gamification, should be more about content, more about entertainment, more about engagement. People want to hear and wants to feel you. They want to have fun with you. They want to engage. And so bring on gamification into your video, I think is super important as well. So those were
that's a good way to transition to Livestream, because Livestream is a big component of the interaction, the creativity, and the ability to get purchase decisions on the fly from customers who are coming in. So how do we get through that? How do you get through that? And what do you do with Livestream videos that make people kind of want to click 90% of it?
So there's really 3 tricks for that. First is like you have to have a best hook. And the problem with video, creating a hook on video is very hard, but like on Livestream is harder because you can have someone that enter your video at the beginning, or it can be on the middle, or it can be toward the end. So how do you create a hook knowing that you have other people that are already hooked to your thing? And I think for that, it's all about the environment. It's about welcoming the guest. It's about right away engaging with them. And then realizing that it's not about you or anything, but the user is going to be there for 3 minutes. Right? And at any given time, you will, in average, on your live stream, it's going to be 3 to 4 minutes, no more. So you just want to watch and repeat. And it's not because, you're doing an hour show that the people that are coming at the beginning will be until the end.
That's amazing.
You just want to keep on repeating and just engaging with them. So that's the very important. Okay. The other thing is technology is only 20% of the success of your live stream. A lot of people are putting a lot of emphasis in technology.
Yeah.
You can have the best podcast platform on earth, and your podcast can be shitty. Right?
That's so true. So at the end of the day, it's a content over a platform.
It's a content over a platform, right?
Yes.
And what's your strategy to market your content? Are you going to be just on Amazon? Are you going to be on Amazon plus on social media? Are you going to be on your website plus on Amazon plus social media? Are you going to be only TikTok? You have to define your strategy. How do you market your event? What do you do with it? Like, what's the flow of it and everything? So the marketing of this.
The audience, really.
How is the audience? Who is my audience? Who am I talking to?
Where do they ultimately go? If they're not on TikTok, then don't go to TikTok.
And
how does somebody define that real quick in terms of like which platform I might just go with and define my audience?
I believe for me, the way I define the platform is first is like, where do you want the audience to be and engage ultimately? That's the number one. Like you have to make the decision yourself, conscious decisions. Today, if your product resonates very well with TikTok, which is in my point of view, the TikTok audience is a very low basket size audiences. So if you're selling a 10, 15 box SKU, TikTok is great for you. If you're selling something like in upward of like, $50, $100, $200, maybe Amazon will be much better, right? Because the buyer there have more buying power and they are more engaged and everything. And then if you have more like a luxury SKU or like you want like this unique experience, your website is definitely the place where you want to be, right? So that's I think you have to think it that way. And then you have to make your strategy around that. TikTok is awesome for lead gen, in my view, and like getting eyeballs, getting engagement because of the algo, the way it's been done. TikTok I will say Amazon is great because you can work with influencers. So the Amazon influencers are probably the savviest out there in terms of live shopping because they have been there for years. Those are not the typical influencer you will see out there that are just, showcasing a product there and there. They are really streamers that do that for a living. So they're really good at what they're doing. And yeah, I think, for me, the way I think about it is I think Amazon has really been as very close to a QVC, except that the audience is much younger. That's how I see Amazon on this space.
Smart. And so your third bullet point?
I love that. So we were saying.
Well, I kind of cut you off with the question. I didn't want you to get to I want you to get through your three.
So the first, so we were talking about the hook, then the consistency.
Platform and consistency. Yep.
Platform and consistency is super important. A lot of people are saying, oh, I'm going to do a stream. I'm going to do it once and I'm not successful, or I want to test it out. And then they do 1, 2, 3 times and they say, oh, I didn't get as much sales that I would like to. But the end of the day is like, if you post one time on Instagram, you open an Instagram account, post one time on Instagram and you don't get 5 likes. I mean, is that normal or not? Just think of it as this way. You're creating a channel. And so you have to be there consistent. You have to be there on a regular basis. You have to engage in quick content for people to tune in and just be excited and everything. And the law of marketing still apply with video commerce. It's not because you have a buy button there that the law of marketing no longer exists. Your customers still have and still need their 7 touch points. Yes, you will be able to trigger more impulse buy because the ability to purchase is much simpler, right? So think of it like when you started to introduce the one-click checkout on your website or on Amazon or anything, you got an upside of sales. But not everyone started to buy all of a sudden, right? It's still, you still need to have customer that needs to have a different path, different journey. And what you're doing is just making it easier for them to shop. And so consistency is super important. So if you go in the live stream, be consistent. This is 80% of the work is there. Obviously, be entertaining, try to work on a hook, and then lastly, choose your platform.
Great insights, my man. Great insights. Look, Nicolas, in case you didn't understand, folks, is obviously very good at what he does, very smart at what he does. He's from eStreamly.com. You're going to want to check that out. That's eStreamly.com. It's in the show notes. If you are going to go live for your brand, you got a brand, you're on the DTC world, or if you're looking for videos, you want to engage your audience, if you're going for seamless integration between website, email, SMS, blog, apps, social media networks, etc., and you're on one or multiple of the platforms we've discussed today, you guys want to go check that out. It's social commerce. It's live. It's super cool. If you're operating on the DTC side in Shopify and you've got somebody who's live streaming and they hit add to cart, it will literally show the live stream over the add to cart. Such a very cool feature. Very competitive the way Amazon is working with Meta now to integrate ads, etc. So this is extremely timely and extremely competitive and could add quite a bit more to your conversion rate, especially if you are producing videos and doing live streams. Doing those things for your brand and you've got your audience kind of figured out and you know where you go live, go check out eStreamly.com and see Nicolas and his team over there. Anything else that I didn't get right for you there, brother?
I mean, that was wonderful. I think I'm going to clip that and start using that clip.
Well, there you go. I'll be your pitch man. Invoices in the mail. See, guys, look how easy it is to make money with videos. Look what I just did. Thank you so much for coming on the show, brother.
All right. Thank you, Neil. Awesome.